get straight to it. Eric from sunny Luton, the UK. So how things going?
Things are good. Things are good. I just received stock I've been waiting for like a month now. So gonna get to fulfill all those, you know.
I'm sure we'll get into that, and customers will know what viewers will know what you're talking about by the end of this call. so yeah, if you could just quickly explain or describe your experience and background, how you got into e-commerce, what you was doing beforehand, and if you're doing anything else on the side.
Okay. So essentially, after university, I started working in a marketing agency, and I had a history of like very, very poor sleep. So working in a 9 to 5 was kind of untenable for me. So I was kind of forced into being an entrepreneur. So when I realized that the marketing agency wouldn't work out, I saw an ad for AliExpress like way back in the day, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and he was talking about dropshipping, and it kind of included all the skills that I'd already learned being in a marketing agency. So I thought, well, I might as well just try this and see how it goes. 3 or 4 years later, I eventually had a business called Dino Bags, which did really well, so well that I was able to sell it last year. And now I'm doing I now have a different business, which is also going pretty decently.
Well, so you said at university, what did you study there?
Oh, so I did music for 2 years, and I did philosophy for 3 years.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't enjoy any of it. I enjoyed the partying, but like the actual subjects, it wasn't really for me. But yeah.
So then you started working for the marketing agency literally straight out of uni.
Well, no, I was working at a food factory straight out of uni, but okay. I didn't think that would be relevant to the conversation. So I just went straight to marketing. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Cool. So you was at the food factory for a short period, I take it.
Relatively short. I think maybe a year or so actually. So maybe not even that short, but yeah.
Cool. And so then, how did you? So I'm quite intrigued on how you went from working in this food factory to a marketing agency, and was it more of a kind of an apprenticeship role, or you just had the gift of the gab and managed to say, yeah, you had 10 years of marketing experience?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Actually, now that you mentioned it, so philosophy is like a lot of like arguing and like logical writing. So I imagine I've learned how to persuade people through writing, doing that. But essentially, so I used to so as I mentioned, like I did music for 2 years in uni, and that is something that I've been doing since I was like 14. And I kind of used to market on like SoundCloud and stuff like that. So when I was trying to pick like a career to go, I was like, okay, what was I doing in my past that could be relevant to like a future career? And so marketing was the one thing that made most sense because I didn't want to do music anymore. So yeah, that's how I got into marketing.
Okay. So would you say I'm not sure if you want to say it as a hobby, but do you still enjoy music in your spare time, or not really?
Well, I enjoy it just as a hobby, but then when it turns into a job, like the joy kind of evaporates.
Okay, yeah. Understood. Cool. So so you landed this role in a marketing agency. Was it a local marketing agency?
Relatively. So I was living in Kent, and the marketing agency was in London, so I would commute every day. And then after a while, I got like a house share in London, which was closer to it. So yeah, we're pretty bullish.
And how long was you there for?
11 months.
Okay. And what did you learn in particular there? Was it? I mean, what was your role? Were you media buying, or was you content writing? What was your position?
So it was a bit of like a mishmash. So my job title was like CEO, PPC, whatever, agent, whatever. And I was doing those of like Google ads. I was doing like SEO work, and that was pretty much it. Also, like customer service aspect to it, which I was doing a lot of, and I learned a lot of that work that I put into this business.
Cool.
So
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
And was it for a large company or was it quite small?
Well, it was, I think, how many were there? I think maybe there were, so it was like they had different, our particular office was small because there were like, I think maybe 15, 20 people.
Mhm.
But this was like an offshoot of a Australian company. So the company was called Reload Digital, and they had like a Australian office, which was like larger than like a smaller London office, and I was in the smaller London office.
Okay. And why did you leave after 11 months?
So I think, so the actual sleep issues that I'm having kind of caught up with me. Like I was doing okay, like I was still tired, but I was doing okay. But then when it got to like winter and the sun went, it just became incredibly like difficult to handle. I wasn't sleeping well, and then my work suffered. And then at the same time, I didn't feel like the company was being very flexible, and I suppose they couldn't really for the issues I was having. And I also didn't like the direction I was moving in terms of the skills I was learning at the time. So just kind of all snowballed into one.
Sure. So I mean, if if you didn't have these sleep issues and there was more room for kind of progression and promotion, you probably would have stayed there.
Probably actually, yeah, because it wasn't a bad place to work. I was learning a lot of new things, and the company culture was really good as well. But yeah, it was just not for me, I suppose.
Sure.
Yeah,
it sounds like a perfect opportunity, to be honest. For you to then do kind of like a side hustle that you can directly use the skills you've learned and are learning, and you could possibly even pick your kind of supervisors' brains or higher ups in some instances. I suppose you're getting like free consultation.
I mean, that would have been clever, but what I did was like I quit. And then I didn't ask them anything, and I just started the dropshipping anyway. Like it was very, very risky. But
so you from there you went straight into dropshipping.
Yeah, straight away. And I was just like, well, this is kind of the only thing I can do really. So it has to work. I don't really have a choice. So I just kept doing it.
Did you do it hardcore, like non-stop?
Yeah,
was it
every day, all the time? Didn't go out, like didn't spend any money. Like I am not leaving my house until this works, kind of.
That's good. So with this dropshipping venture, how long after you started did you see some kind of traction?
I think so. The first store I did, I got sales. It wasn't profitable, but like that kind of validated the whole process. And then after that, it took me a year until I got consistent sales. I think that was my first 1K a month in the first year. But then again, it wasn't profitable. So then I kept doing that, I think, until like 2020. So I think it took the whole time it took me till like, it took me 2 years. So in 2020, during COVID, I think it was my first proper profitable good sales store began, and I was selling like little squeaky toys. I still have actually, but yeah. And then I think because it was quite a low ticket product, I realized that was the reason why I couldn't scale it further. Then I kind of made sure to pick higher price products after that, and I think even now that's kind of the goal really. So yeah, picking higher price products and then learning how to market based on skills. So basically matching the product price to the skills that you have, and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing now.
So with the course that you actually took, was it one of the free ones available online, or did you actually pay for one?
Oh, didn't take a course. I didn't have any money, so I just went on YouTube. So I would do like the store building stuff in the day, and then I'll go on YouTube at night and then just like learn, like watch as many YouTube videos as my brain could handle.
I'm sure many can relate to that. Yeah. Those who are watching this. So what was? I mean, you said you was doing this for at least a year before you had a kind of winning campaign, but even then it wasn't that profitable.
Yeah.
Did you almost give up in that first year?
No, because that was like the first bit of success that I had. Like when I had that first product that got a lot of sales. So I was like, if I can do this, I can recreate this. I can just do it better. There was a product after that which also got consistent sales, but was not profitable. And that one was when I really needed to give up, because like during that time, I don't remember why, but the product price, no, the shipping price like increased to such an extent where if I maintain the sales I was at, I would be completely unprofitable. And like I was like towing the line just a little bit. So I was like, oh, maybe. But then when it was like, you can't make this work, I was like, just shut everything down. And I was in like the fetal position for at least like 24 hours after that. Like that was when I was like, oh damn, this is tough. Like I was so close, man. Like
I know it's bad. I remember that period. There was a good 6 months where the shipping just relentlessly kept increasing, and it was so difficult to make any kind of margins whatsoever, and it killed so many dropshippers' hopes of even getting slightly profitable.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, now it's a completely different story. Prices have dropped a lot. They're actually almost close to pre kind of COVID rates. But yeah, so how far are you into your e-commerce journey from when you first started dropshipping? Are you 2 years, 3 years, less, more?
Yeah, I think initially I said 3 to 4 years, but now that I think about it, it must have been since either 2018, 2019, wherever I quit my job. I don't remember when.
Okay. So fairly experienced then.
Yeah, quite a long time.
Okay. And now you aren't dropshipping, right?
Yeah.
To an extent. Yeah. So yeah, if you could just quickly, stepping back a little bit, what were the main issues you experienced, or the most annoying ones you had during your dropshipping journey?
Definitely suppliers not being honest with you or telling you in advance. I'm still having that problem now, even because if they tell you in advance, you can tell your customers and then you can update them. If they don't tell you in advance, then the customers have to learn with you, and they are usually happy to learn with you.
Now they usually learn before you.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, yo, where is it? And I'm like, let me just check
Let me ask my supplier.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't you tell me that?
Yeah, exactly. Like, so yeah, I think there was one supplier I had ages ago, and they were shipping through like epacket for some reason, and I told them specifically not to. And I only found out that they were shipping through epacket like when the customers were telling me that their orders were late, and so I can't really tell them that the shipping time was meant to be 30 days now. But so yeah.
So just generally communication.
Yeah, exactly.
Not being updated. What was the most? I would say what was the most expensive or biggest kind of error or problem that was made, obviously not by you, but as a direct or indirect action of your suppliers or vendors or partners in general?
So actually, it'll probably be the most recent one, because the most recent one was they'd given me a production time, and then so I foolishly told my customers that production schedule back time, but I should have given it like a little bit of leeway. So they were like 2 weeks late, and so that means the production schedule I gave to my customers was also 2 weeks late. Because it's 2 weeks late and it was like made order, they were not happy about that. So I had to like refund like loads and loads of orders, at least like grand worth of orders, and then and then when the actual stock finally came in, there were loads of like errors. So then I had to get paid error fixed, and I had to tell the customer that their price was going to be late because of those errors. And then it was a whole
mess. So just to give the viewers some context here, you placed a bulk order for a brand that you was investing in,
Mhm.
So it wasn't drop shipping, obviously. You placed an order on, was it Alibaba?
Yeah, Alibaba.
By Alibaba. And then you just had issue after issue. So and to again to clarify, there wasn't any and those viewing this who are considering doing the same, or whether you're ordering from Alibaba or an agent or whoever it is, clarify if I get anything wrong,
Mhm.
or correct me if I get anything wrong. So you place the order, you just put your trust in them that they would deliver the goods in the specified time frame, as in the products per the specification.
Yeah.
But they delayed on the original shipment. The products weren't as per the quality and specification you requested, and
Yeah.
there was nothing in place to kind of safeguard you from any of that. So there was no kind of quality checks, inspections, any audits or anything like that. So by the time you knew, it was too late. And then the repercussions you experienced was, customers complaining, or you reaching out to the customers, you sending refunds because they wanted refunds. Did you get any chargebacks and stuff like that, or did you manage collateral quite well?
So fortunately, I think I only got like maybe 1 or 2 chargebacks, but even as this was happening, I was communicating with the customers like all the time. So every time I had heard about a delay, I was telling the customer, and I think that helps a lot with preventing chargebacks. Obviously, people refunded; they didn't want to wait that long, but I think my reputation with the Pimper is still intact. So, yeah.
So what would you say you learned from that experience in particular? What would you do differently?
So I think what I was trying to do was like have my cake and eat it too. Like I was trying to go for like the lowest MOQ and like the cheapest price I could possibly find. And and even though the product quality wasn't too bad, like you pay for it in some way. So if it isn't with like your money, then it's gonna be with like time or like quality or even like communication. So I think I'll just spend more time vetting my suppliers, asking questions, and not just trying to go for like the best deal possible, but actually trying to consider different factors.
Cool. Yeah, and just a note for viewers watching this as well. If you are looking for very low MOQs and they happen to be one of the cheapest prices available compared to competitors, as Eric said, something's got to give, because it's usually the other way around. The more you order, the cheaper it's going to be. So you just make sure you do your due diligence. Sometimes it is too good to be true. Just make sure you do as many checks as you possibly can. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to learn the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So what did you do thereafter? So you obviously received the goods. You just had to try and get them corrected with the supplier. You then shipped out the goods to the supplier, the customers, or the products that were good enough to ship out.
Yeah. So what I did was I let all the customers know that this was a particular error we had, and I said, if you are happy to have the error and then send it out, we'll send it out to you at a discount, or you can refund your order, or you can wait, and they pick which one of the three.
Cool. And
yeah.
so did you manage to at least get rid of all the stock?
I did actually, bar maybe like 20 pieces.
Cool.
Yeah, because the sales kept coming in. I didn't really pause that. I scaled down the ads a little bit, but they still kept coming in. So I managed to start shipping some orders very quickly of the excess orders, of the excess stock that we had. Let's ship them out quickly, and then from them, I got a lot of like good reviews, which helped with sales further. So yeah, it worked out in the end, but
Cool.
I looked at it, was incredibly so stressful. Like I felt it in my chest, kind of stressful.
Oh man. Hopefully it didn't bring back those sleeping problems.
Hold on, I didn't sleep a week.
Oh man, fun times, eh? So are you still operating this particular brand?
Yeah. So
So you've changed supplier, I take it.
Yeah. Like I vetted this supplier, like I checked all their claims from their website, and like they were legit. Like I looked like for records and whatnot. The stock luckily came in this morning. And this particular supplier as well, they were communicating like through like the entire way. Like they showed me like pictures of like before they made the full batch. They showed me pictures of what it looks like, and I checked them. We went through them, asked questions, and it looked good. So yeah.
So there's a. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, and so I should be able to like start shipping them out tomorrow.
So there's an obvious difference in not only the physical product quality, but the service and communication when you compare who you worked with previously and this company.
Yeah.
And price difference, let me guess, were they more expensive?
Well, the MOQ was larger, so yeah, more expensive. I don't, but to be fair, they were willing to match me on the like per piece price, which was quite fortunate. But that was negotiable, so yeah.
Sure. Great. And I think I saw a post in your channel of the images the team provided comparison to the previous product.
Yeah.
So are you actually, were you waiting for that to arrive before you actually start running ads, or what was your plan?
So I've done something a bit sneaky. So well, it's not really sneaky. It's just I've told the customers beforehand that the bags are like made. So I've been taking like pre-orders kind of thing, and I've communicated that like through several emails, like this bag is going to take such and such time to be made, and then we will ship it out. And if you're not cool with that, we're happy to provide a refund. So even though the stock is taking a long time to come, the customers are kind of expecting that anyway. So fortunately, now that we have like excess stock, even if they're expecting it to take a long time, they're going to get it quicker. So it's like under promise, over deliver situation. Sure. That's great for myself. So.
Yes, that's great. I mean, so in effect, you're kind of doing a pre-order system.
Yeah. It's like
that's
under a different name, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, if you were very transparent about it and actually mentioned it was a pre-order, your conversion rates will obviously take a hit. But at the same time, if you actually are delivering what you're promising, then it doesn't matter how you kind of present it on the front end, as long as you give the customers deliver what you've promised them.
Yeah. So when I said it was like a little bit sneaky, so I've had like pre-order in the banner, and I've had like made to order in the product page, but the actual button still says part. So it's kind of like a sale, but
marketer, right?
Yeah, exactly. But once they order, the email about it being made to order is sent immediately, and yeah, a lot of customers seem to be fine with it. Like I haven't really had that many refunds based on that, and obviously once they haven't received it after a while, they can kind of see if it's going to be made to order, and they can find the information they want, and they've been fine with it. So.
Nice. So what's your the amount that you've ordered is more than enough to fulfill all of your current orders, I take it. So you're planning to now run ads again and hopefully get better conversion rates because you'll be able to dispatch instantly?
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. Good plan. And to clarify, we're actually doing the fulfillment side.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
Great. Well, I mean, it's been a very interesting story so far, and I'm sure a lot of viewers can learn from this, and maybe they're on the current kind of path that you were on a while ago. So, I mean, what's your plan for the future? Are you looking to kind of flip this, or just carry on going with, so you see how far you can take it? Or
well, yeah, so I really like the kind of initial stages of a business, but I'm not too into like running it. So I'm going to build this to a point where it's sellable and then sell it on. And then while I'm doing that, I'll be creating the systems to pass it on to the next person. But yeah, because it's not something, the product that I've picked isn't necessarily something that I'm particularly passionate about. I just like the kind of the nuts and bolts of it all. So I can apply nuts and bolts to any kind of product. So I'm not particularly beholden to this. So yeah, that's kind of the plan a bit.
Okay. Word of advice, and you probably know this already, but it's really good to start creating an exit plan well far in advance, because I mean, there's lots of resources out there that will teach you how to increase the value of your e-commerce store, and it just makes it much more easier to sell. So if you are selling a store like your own, where you're no longer drop shipping, you have inventory, that's already a plus. Obviously, a downside is relying on paid traffic only and one traffic stream, one traffic source. Also, the longer that your store is consistently running for and consistently generating sales, no ups and downs, is obviously beneficial. And one of the most important factors, believe it or not, is having proper accounting and profit and loss and making sure the numbers are all in place. So as long as you can kind of keep that in mind, and you can build that up over time, so that by the time you do come to sell it, everything's pretty solid. The fundamentals are there. It will be much easier to sell, and you'll be able to sell it at a higher price. But if you wanted more information on that, we've got some kind of partners who kind of buy and sell, and so they can kind of look into do like an audit. But it's probably too early at this point to do an audit. But once you've been running it for a few months, especially now that you've got inventory, they'll be able to give you some kind of direct input and advice on, 6 months down the line, this is what we're going to be looking for. Work on that for the moment. Yeah,
I'm definitely going to keep that in mind and like take you up on the offer.
100%. So are you looking to create some other stores while you've got this one, or are you going to concentrate 100% on this?
Going to concentrate 100% on this, because I think there are a lot of skills to learn just from this one, and I don't really like my focus to be separated.
Makes sense. Cool. And for the viewers watching this, those who are in your shoes, or well, let's say were in your shoes, where you were struggling a lot, sleepless nights with all the issues and everything you experienced, what advice would you give them, if anything?
Just don't quit, no matter what. Don't quit. Like people talk about how scammy the dropshipping space is, but like the one advice that I got from like years back was like, it's mainly like a mental game, most of it. So as long as you're learning and getting better, you will get there eventually. It's just about the patience and the perseverance. Like don't just decide that this is the thing you want to do, and then just do it until it works, and then it will work eventually.
Cool. Thanks for the input. Where did you? I can't remember if I even asked you this, but where did you hear about Honest Fulfillment?
Oh man, it was. Do you remember Nate Schmidt?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember he mentioned you, maybe in an email or maybe in a video, but he mentioned you, and that was like years ago. So
okay.
I knew about you from then, and then I saw like you were still continuing from those years. So you've been about for ages. So been about for ages. That means something good is happening. So yes.
Yeah, Nate Schmidt. He hasn't. I remember back then, because we weren't collaborating, or we didn't have any kind of paid partnerships or anything. He reached out at one point and said, "Do you mind if I share your content, because it's quite useful?" I think it was during like the COVID part, when it first kicked off, and I was obviously just providing information, and it was like, "Yeah, do you mind if I share this on my channel?" So yeah, go ahead, why not? But yeah, even to this day, there's no kind of affiliation or kind of payouts concerned, but it's good to know that something came out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe other clients have joined us because of him as well, but it's sometimes you don't know, and I don't actually get the chance to ask. So it's good that I'm asking you that question. Yeah, I think we pretty much covered it. Thank you very much for your time, Eric.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, and as always, you know where to find me and the team in Discord. And if ever you want to have a call, whether that's kind of follow up to this for our viewers, or just to generally pick my brains, you've got the calendar URL, so you're more than welcome to schedule a call with me. But if there's nothing else, thank you very much, and we'll speak again soon.
Yep, we'll do, man. Thanks for having me.
Take care.
All right, in a bit.